You're moving where? This has been the response many have received after announcing that they're moving to the northwest of Tasmania. So we asked a few people who've made the journey to tell us what brought them here and why they've stayed. This is Alison and Billy's story.
I'm Alison Steele, and this is little Millicent. She's 8 months old.
I'm Billy Steele. Well, I was a publican in the UK, and Alison was a dentist, and we were working very different hours and not seeing an awful lot of each other.
We weren't happy with our life there. I'd not long been qualified as a dentist, and Billy had just bought the pub, but I'd spent most of uni sort of working in pubs to pay the rent basically, and so I was working full time as a dentist and then pulling pints on the weekend. So we just weren't happy with things. So
we had actually closed the pub.
Yeah, and
we were hiding.
And I said I'd read an article in a dental journal about moving to New Zealand. It was. And I said to Billy, if I moved to New Zealand, would you come with me? And he said, yeah, I'd do that. Then about a month later in the British Dental Journal, there was an advert saying wanted dentists in Tasmania. So we thought it's a bit of a sign. I'll email them.
It's worth an email, yeah.
And see, what they say.
That was just after New Year, and then we came out for Easter, didn't we? Just about Easter time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and had a week here just to check the place out and see what it was like. Within a couple of months, we were here.
That was it.
We sold all of our big furniture, and we were packing up boxes. We were staying with friends, and I remember I was putting things into a shipping box, and Billy came from work and said, "Oh, I've got a bit of bad news." And I said, "Oh yeah," and he said, "Oh, the practice where you're going to work in Tasmania has burnt down." I said, "Don't be daft. Stop joking with me." He said, "No, really, it has." I said, "Oh, stop it." He said, "No, really, the practice has burnt down." I said, "Oh." The owners
at the time were adamant that there'd still be work to do and we should still come, but we were very. Yeah.
We were scared, obviously, and I said, "Well, what are we going to do? The dogs are in Singapore. Our life is packed up. We've told everybody we're leaving, and we said, well, we're still going to go. And if there is a bit of a shortage of dentists, well, hopefully, if it doesn't work out with that practice, we'll find work anywhere, and we'll just continue with our plans." So, yeah, obviously we grew up with our friends there, and there's times when you think back home and you see people are going out, but when you actually talk to them, we realise that they're not going out every weekend, and we're not at a stage of life where we would be going out every weekend, and even if we were there, they meet up at Christmas, and their lives have moved on as well. So when you do get a little bit homesick, when you actually think about it, you think, oh,
what for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We integrated into local society at first. It would be through work, but it was probably more for me once I had the children, joining mothers groups, breastfeeding groups, and even more since I've got one child now who is at school. It's easier to meet other mothers. At the weekends, I do a lot of walking with the kids. It's a lovely place to walk here. There's a great sort of boardwalk down by the seafront, and can get the older kids on their bikes and walk with the pram with this one. And so I do quite a lot of that. The kids love to, if Billy says he's going to fix a fence, the kids love to go out and watch him and play close to him.
And when we first moved over, it was predominantly for Alison's career. There was a job advert came up just for real estate, and it was something I'd always had an interest in. Never done it before, but thought it would be an interesting job and a good way to meet people. I undertook the training and had a few years in real estate, and my friends and I decided that we could have a go on our own. So we started our own business and took it from there.
I think the overall cost of living here is similar to the UK. Some things are a bit more expensive. I'd say the supermarket shopping is generally a bit more expensive.
The house prices, you get more here definitely for your money.
Less commuting here. I lived in London for a little bit before I moved back up north, and if you're commuting into London every day, then travel is a huge outgoing in the UK.
Travel to work, there's no traffic jams. We do have something here called the Cooey Crawl, but it's nothing to be worried about. It slows you down a little bit, but you don't stop. So it's a pretty easy going trip to work.
There's quite a lot of things for children to do here. They do swimming classes, dance classes. My parents always comment that the parks here are very nice, and
there's no one on the beaches.
Yeah, and the beaches are empty. And yesterday we went to a Lego exhibition. There seems to be a lot of things going on generally for families here. The climate's better than the UK, I would say.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, it does get wet, but there's a lot of sunshine in amongst the rainy days, whereas in the UK it's constantly grey.
It can be grey and drizzle for what
months.
Seems like many months on end, whereas here, even the winters, you get some lovely fresh sunny days.
Yeah.
And the summers here, we think it's quite hot, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, the best thing about living in Tasmania is actually the area that we live in. It's just so nice and green. You literally can drive a couple of minutes out of town, and you're out in the middle of big farming areas, and I do like that kind of green sort of natural areas.
It's nice for us to have a little bit of acreage where we live, isn't
Yeah,
it? And
yeah.
you wouldn't be able to have that in the UK.
No,
Not unless...
too much suburban sprawl. So here it's a lot more open. Access to the mainland was very good before children.
Even then, it's not.
Yeah,
too
no, it's
bad.
pretty easy. It's only 15 minutes to Wynyard Airport. And
Even Launceston Airport, where the flights are cheaper, it's only an hour and a half. I mean, in the UK, you still have to drive to the bigger airports, don't you?
Yeah.
When we first moved here, we always thought that we'd give it a go, and if it didn't work out, we could go back home. And I guess our family thought that we might only last a couple of years, but 11 years later, and we're still here and loving it.
Yeah, it's definitely the best move we've ever made.
Proudly brought to you by Business Northwest, promoting regional growth.